Hi, I'm Laura,
I'm Chris.
and welcome to this week's Back to Basic moment. Last week, we considered the Tower of Babel as a story encouraging diversity.
This week, we are exploring the meaning of a laugh that is recorded in the Bible. You see, Abraham was promised by God that he would be the father of many nations. There was just one problem. He and his wife Sarah had no children.
That's a problem. One day, God appeared to Abraham through three men that came to visit. Abraham and Sarah showed every hospitality to these men. After they were finished eating, the men were talking with Abraham outside his tent. They delivered the news recorded in Genesis 18. I will surely return to you in due season, and your wife Sarah shall have a son.
Sarah was nearby in the couple's tent and happened to overhear the men telling her husband that she would have a son. Now, Sarah and Abraham were old and way past the age of having kids. I mean, can you imagine having kids at an old age? Sarah laughed at the thought because she thought it was impossible at her age. When God asked her why she laughed, she denied ever laughing.
Well, Sarah and Abraham's story continues. And sure enough, they have children of their own, even in their old age. God was faithful and kept his promise to the couple, even when Sarah could not bring herself to believe the impossible. There is a lot that needs to be gleaned from this story, but consider how many times each of us has been through a trying time in life that also seemed impossible.
Sarah laughed, and honestly, that is probably a rational response to news like that. We know that laughter all too well, the laughter of doubt when faced with something that seems impossible.
There are times when life's promises seem far beyond our reach. We laugh not out of joy, but because we can't imagine how things can ever change.
When we face disappointments, unanswered prayers, or delayed dreams, it is easy to fall into disbelief or maybe even laugh, as Sarah did in our story. But Sarah's laughter wasn't just skepticism, it was the sound of a heart protecting itself from hope.
That is so true. In the modern era, we do the same. When life seems too difficult or a challenge feels too great, we guard ourselves by doubting or laughing off the idea that something good could happen. Because we don't want to risk heartbreak and disappointment.
In the scripture, God asked Sarah, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" And that rings true today. God is never limited by our doubts and disbelief that come natural to us.
Now, Sarah's story is a reminder that God works beyond our expectations. Even when we laugh in disbelief, God remains faithful. It's amazing. The same laughter of doubt can be turned into the laughter of joy when we trust that nothing is impossible for God.
What if, instead of doubting, we dared to explore the possibilities of hope?
What if, instead of laughing, we dared to open our hearts to believe that the impossible might just be possible?
Thanks for joining us this week for our Back to Basics moment.
And don't forget to like us and subscribe. See you Sunday.